Before I start this video, um, um, I'd like to mention that when I was 4 months, a baby in the womb, I knew that O.J. Simpson was guilty of a court of law. I knew that he had a demon in him. I still know, still to this day, that he had a demon in him. It's so easy to tell. Um, I don't even know if I want to play the video that I had planned on playing, but we'll just get into it. I'll be right back. Sorry if it looks messy, guys. This is what happens when you leave a Trump wife unattended. And like baggage at baggage claim unattended. Oh, damn.
Everything that I'm feeling when I woke up this morning, saw the messages go out to the Goldmans, Kim and Fred Goldman, and I expressed my condolences to them. And of course,
And yes, I do believe that Ron Goldman was supposed to marry Khloe A. Kardashian because I always felt like Khloe had. I mean, her middle name is an A name. My name is Antonia. That's kind of what I originally named this YouTube channel. Is Antonia loves you, because I know what it feels like not to be loved, and so um yeah, but um I just intuitively know that was supposed to marry Ron Goldman, so I wouldn't put it past Chloe Alexandra Goldman, Chloe A. Goldman. I wouldn't put it past her to resurrect what needs to be had. She has a ministry that by far would be uh, a breakthrough for God. And to think that she's all on the West Coast, it's interesting. So let's get back into this video with you. Oh, I hate putting codes in.
I cherish memories of Nicole, and she was a beacon of light. She really was. She was bright. She was funny.
Now he
And I
knows
don't think
that. Now he knows that.
it's really about two young, beautiful people that were murdered. They were murdered. They say he's innocent. Do you believe O.J. Simpson is innocent?
No.
No, I've given my opinion.
I knew that
My feeling was I
instinctively
think
in
he's
the
guilty.
womb.
I have that
In
opinion.
the womb,
I
I
still
knew that
believe that today. And
instinctively.
I was listening to this show, and you sort of encapsulated the last 30 years, and I was going, oh your monologue is just, it brought back so much to my feelings. It was wonderful, not wonderful, but it was like I went back in time, and I was thinking about that line you said about heaven and hell and believing it. Well, on his deathbed, I don't know if he said a penance or not, but
I've said it before and I'll say it again. He was always acting like a black clown, and I just never understood why the black community like praised this man. Like you're the black community is known. I mean, I go to David's Harbor and there's a woman named Carrie Foot, and I catch her blessing her food and thanking God for the food sometimes. I just don't understand this narrative of people not being okay with black people being in love with God. You know what I mean? Like, I just I don't understand it, and I don't think I'll ever understand it, because understanding evil is not the answer. Understanding evil will never be the answer. And I think my parents probably watched too much TV. It sounds like at least one of them has repented for it, but it's not okay to just watch TV and act like I'm just gonna kick back in my brain and act like, God isn't there. Bye bye, God. Like, no, I think that that's a lot of times what people do when they watch television. I watch the Kardashians to vent. I watch the Kardashians to be like, you are stupid, and I get to say whatever I want because I'm allowed to. I get to. It's it's not okay to murder somebody. But I'll tell you one thing: the house that I came from, that I don't even know if apartment wife ever watched those videos or ever found me then, but I was in a house of horrors. It was Turpin case. And I don't know what else to describe it as. And my mom's like, "No, it's Disneyland. It's heaven. We're in heaven. This is a heaven home." No, it is not. There's trash and the Mount Amazon boxes in your house. My mother needs to get over this stuff that my dad has the same issues that O.J. Simpson had. And now her son is crazy, just like O.J. Simpson used to be, yelling, screaming,
He's guilty, and
hitting.
if he made peace with God or not. What was it
Yeah,
like being in that court?
you can say that again. I'm gonna back that up.
Thinking about that line you said about heaven and hell and believing it. Well, on his deathbed, I don't know if he said a penance or not, but I really believe he's
You
guilty,
look
and if
like you
he
have a
made peace
demon
with
inside
God
of
or
you,
not.
dude.
What was it like being in that courtroom with Johnny
Mm.
Cochran,
And
Marcia
we're
Clark,
supposed to have,
O.J. Simpson, accused of
and we're supposed to have Ivanka Trump as the first woman president, and we just barely had this guy kill somebody just like her. Like, I just don't even think that I could trust my mom, my brother, and his fake wife with these people. It's, it's ridiculous. Like, people really think that this stuff, that killing someone is. Sometimes you just can't find the words for evil. And I feel like I'm at that stage in my life where I've realized that. And I hope that it stays because I'm not planning on going anywhere but Trump. And people all the time act like, oh, and some people think that Donald Trump is either Hitler or O.J. Simpson. I'm like, what? My father in love is nothing other than a master of misogyny. I I don't know how I'm going to vote for this Donald Trump if he does not be faithful to the one that God has given him. God gave Donald Trump Ivana. God didn't give Donald Trump anybody else but Ivana. So to hear that we have to honor, oh, vote for Trump, that's fine. You can vote for Trump all you want. But when you're worshiping and when you're putting your fist up in the air about Trump instead of your fist up in the air about Jesus, it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. Donald Trump is my brother Micah Talby. Micah Talby was he was a very, how do I put this? When he would walk in the room, I always felt like I was automatically like disciplined without him having to say anything, without him having to do anything. He just had this like demeanor about him, and he is kind. I mean, he told me he spent 16 years taking care of old people. And I'm like, how could you do that if you're like literally Channing Tatum? So I don't know about that, but I don't know, guys. I put this video on for OJ to react to OJ Simpson's death, and I did not expect myself to open up so much. But this evil is just not something we should ever try to understand. If you're understanding it, then you've gone too far.
Of double murder sitting right across from you while you're next to Judge Ito under oath? Right. Jesse, I'm from Wisconsin, and growing up, I came to California to become an actor and a star. But
You should have
I've
thought
never been in a courtroom
otherwise,
in my
like I
entire
did.
life, not even a parking ticket. And the first time I'm in a courtroom is for a double homicide of a man who I'm living on his property and a friend who
I would
I didn't know why.
fuck
I
up
knew
like Khloe
through the
Kardashian and
years,
OJ
and I
Simpson.
know that he's a wonderful person.
Mm,
So
he
that's what it was like.
this word right here that I'm about to say is for myself. OJ Simpson died at 76 years old. What does that tell you? That tells you that my mother is a liar because she thinks that every man is her past terrible husbands. I'm like, what are you talking about? OJ Simpson died at 76 years old. He didn't die at 77 years old. What does that tell you? Tells me that he's a fat liar, a black clown looking liar. I don't care if the black community hates me. I have this country to fight for,
And to
not
testify.
OJ
Uh,
Simpson.
yeah. And you know what, Jesse?
He's
To explain
dead
myself in a
and he'll
nutshell,
never be
many times that I was
resurrected.
on the stand, I went through reviews with the defense
What
and also
fat
the prosecution.
freaking
And sometimes
black.
I had that deer in the headlight
Oh
look
my
that was put in
gosh.
so many different
It
magazines
just
and
like
papers.
never ends. I
It's
almost feel like I
because
don't
my
even want
life
to
was so
post this
truthful, and I
video.
was trying to think of me making sure I remembered that question in the review. And that was because of my experience of being a witness. You see a lot of stories now about the criminal justice system, and people still feel the criminal justice system, one way or the other, is just not right. Going
I
back
got
to
dismissed like
1995,
Britney
do you think
Spears.
America's changed
End
at
up
all?
settling
And
in
if
court. Now,
so,
are you sure you
how
want a
has
piece
it?
of me? Mm, we didn't really settle. I got dismissed, but I would take that as a settlement because it is what it is, and now I'm stuck with a guardianship between my mother that I want nothing to do with. I haven't talked to her in a long while. Actually, feels like at least a month that I haven't talked to her. Actually, I messaged her the other day, but it was just about something that I sent in the mail to her, or actually to my niece to her. Um, it's ridiculous the world that we live in, that women think that they can fall for men that have a demon like OJ Simpson. It's just not okay, ladies. You can't go around going you can't go around trying every man out there, you know. I wish that I had been alive and around her to tell her you need to pick a better man because he's not the one for you. I just had a housemate friend. Um, I don't know if I can say her name. I'll just call her housemate friend. She just broke up with her boyfriend, and I know that I had something to do with that because I was just like, she just can't be out here doing whatever she wants. I'm sorry, ladies, you can't. You can't just be with every fish in the goddamn sea. Excuse my French. I know this is not gonna get copyright, but you can't. I'm gonna make sure I put this video as for adults, not for children, because and no child should ever have to have experienced what I experienced in the womb. I was born in Upland, California on August 24th, 1994. So you're telling me that I didn't know that OJ Simpson had a demon. I still am speculating whether my dad ever had a demon. I know he's Ron Magro, but he's also got some kind of like Eric Trump in him because him and my mom are Eric Trump and Larlia. Like they just are just very similar. But I don't know, people. All I know is what not to do, and I'm not gonna kill people just because I'm crazy. No, that doesn't work like that. What you do too is what you do too. You gotta make sure that you have everything down pat so we don't mess up.
It's gone backward. It is still a division of white and black. They put split screens on when the
Mm.
decision came out of the verdict, and we haven't grown at all. And I see it, constantly. And with the Rodney King just happened, OJ just happened, George Floyd just happened. So it's still as divided. I think it's probably even more divided now. I think it's like just steps backwards. It just constantly happens.
You think it's more divided racially? That is just such a sad assessment. I'm so sad to hear that from you. Do you think that the justice system
It's
has
not
gotten
about
any
what,
better or
Jesse.
gotten any
He's
worse
the
since this
victory
verdict?
is God's.
Well, I look at me
You
living in Los
know,
Angeles, and I
Kendall
look at our DA, and I look how criminals are getting off.
Kendall Jenner is not just Kendall Jenner. Kendall is Kendall Nicole Jenner. She is living proof that Yeshua HaMashiach Kenu has had Nicole Brown this whole time. I'm not gonna call her last name Simpson. I always wondered, like, why can't people understand the Messiah? Why can't people wrap their heads around it? And I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not like everybody else. It's just not going to be that easy for everyone else, I guess, to understand. And in case you're wondering why I'm filming this laying down, it's because if I sit on the ground, it hurts my bum bum, okay? Don't be mad. I'm gonna bring up this video back
Off
up.
for committing crimes. And I'm thinking this is the wrong way to do it. And I think that when you can openly shoplift somewhere and not be thrown into jail, I think it's wrong, and the system is wrong.
I
And I think that's
shoplifted
part of the
years
problem.
ago
And I
and
also
they
think,
threw me in
you
jail.
know,
That was the last time I ever did
education.
it.
You've got to be educated. I mean, committing a crime is wrong, and that's how I stand. And I think it's more and more
But I
common.
also
It's more
understood.
and more common with.
But I also understood that these companies, these stores are throwing stuff in the trash, like literal, like good stuff in the trash, and I just am like, who made that decision? Like, that is just not okay to do. Like, why can't we have like a pod in the one of those little like pods that they call them pods, in the back of a store, and trusted dumpster divers can get in the pod, with maybe a key or a code or however it works, and they can go in there and they can look at the stuff that has been salvaged. It's just like, why can't we all be a loving, comfortable family here in America? I just sort of understand Jordan Turpin when she says, like, you know, I feel like I'll never get that answer. And the devil just has a hard time being evangelized. So, we're just gonna finish watching this video real quick and we'll go get going.
homelessness is more and more common of people urinating in streets, and it's the more we see it, the
Ew.
more people seem to keep accepting it, and it's wrong, and they can't do that anymore. And it's got to be a cleanup somehow. It's got to happen where justice has to be priority number one.
It's long overdue. Kato, Kaelin, thanks so much for joining Jesse Waters Primetime. It is a crazy day, and I think what you said about the families, I think really, really rings true. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for expressing that. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Yeah, I think, bottom line is for me, OJ Simpson has nothing to do with the man I'm supposed to marry. My husband, Trump Jr., I call him my husband because I felt the spiritual aspect of marriage. Those that are smart enough to know what marriage really is know that the spiritual aspect is a real thing in marriage. And I felt like I got married to him in 2018. I'm not really sure which month. I would say probably like April 7th. I think that was a Saturday. So, you know, it just takes being honest with God and having a deeper, more restful relationship with God versus just being crazy. I just don't know what else to say other than OJ Simpson is not Trump Jr. and has nothing to do with Trump. So I think that's something we all can be grateful for. So thanks for watching. Bye. I may or may not post this. We'll see. I need a video though, so I probably will post it. Bye.